Aquatic species, like other animals, synthesize body proteins from the diet that they consume. Protein is made up of chain of amino acids. Amino acids that must be provided in the diet are called essential or indispensable amino acids. Aquaculture species does not have true protein requirement, but they need balance in essential amino acid or EAA and non-essential amino acid or NEAA to make up the protein. You can refer to the table here for the essential and non-essential amino acid. The 10 essential amino acid here, which include arginine, histidine, isoleucine, leucine, lysine, methionine, phenylalanine, threonine, tryptophan, and valine, must be present according to the required amount of every species. Each species requires different amount of essential amino acid. Some are higher than the others. Like I've said earlier, carnivores demand higher level of protein than herbivorous and omnivorous. I've included amino acid and crude protein requirement for certain species such as salmon, trout, tilapia, and shrimp in the article in this section that you can refer to. The major protein source for animal feed right now is fish meal. Fish meal is made from any type of seafood but mainly manufactured from wild-caught fish that contains high percentage of bones and oil, which is not suitable for human consumption. Among the famous types of fish caught for the production of fish meal is Manhattan fish, as in the picture. Herring, anchovies, sardines, and capelin are also the most desired fish for fish meal production. Once caught, they will be cooked, then pressed to separate the solid from oil and water. Later, they will be dried to reduce the moisture content to prevent bacteria and mold from growing, and finally they will be ground before being used in the diet. Incorporation of fish meal in fish diet is undoubtedly the best source because it could provide the balanced essential amino acid composition and highly digestible. It could be said that fish meal could bring the most wholesome meal to the aquaculture product as provided by wild fish. However, fish meal price has been increasing over the years due to the increasing demand and limited supply. It is indeed not a sustainable practice to feed the aquaculture fish with wild-caught fish. Therefore, research has been actively done to promote other sources of protein to substitute fish meal partially or entirely in aquaculture diet. There are two sources of protein, mainly from animal and plants. Basically, since fish meal is animal protein, then we shall begin with animal protein commonly used in aquaculture diet at the moment. The first one is poultry byproduct. So, poultry byproduct used in fish diet came from the carcass of chicken or bird's body part that is inedible for humans, such as internal organ, or commonly called as offal, their feet, head, undeveloped eggs, and neck. Poultry byproducts contain approximately 55 to 75% crude protein content and are recommended to be included around 5 to 10% of the whole diet of fish and crustacean. Next, we have shrimp waste meal. Similar to poultry, shrimp waste is made from the head and shells that is not eaten and a byproduct from shrimp processing plant. Crude protein content of shrimp waste meal varies according to their processing method from 27% to 64%. Next, we have blood meal, which is collected during the slaughter of livestock animal including chicken, cattle, and pig. It has high protein content from 85 to 90%, but the amino acid content is imbalanced. However, the sales of blood meal has been regulated in certain countries due to safety reasons. Then we have insect meal, which is currently in favor to replace fish meal due to the sustainable production of insects like black soldier fly larvae here. Besides sustainability, insects also contain high amount of protein that could go up to 60% depending on species and processing method. The amino acid content, however, are limited in methionine and lysine. Therefore, it must be supplied with synthetic amino acid to ensure that the species will get balanced amino acid in their diet. For the plant source, there are plenty of plants that have been tested to be a suitable source for aquaculture protein source. Among others are soybean, which is one of the most important protein source after fish meal. Soybean meal is the byproduct of soybean oil, with two main categories, which is dehulled seed that contain around 47 to 49% protein, and conventional meal with hull, which contain around 43 to 44% protein. However, the use of soybean meal is currently limited due to the presence of anti-nutritional factor. What is anti-nutritional factor? It is the substance that when present in any feed could reduce the nutrient availability of the feed, and it may be hazardous for the fish if consumed more than the limited amount. Another type of soybean product is soy protein concentrate, which contain much higher protein than soybean meal, which is up to 75%, and also widely used in salmonid feed. Compared to soybean meal, soy protein concentrate is much more better tolerated for the fish as it does not contain anti-nutritional factor, and research have been done to replace up to 75% of fish meal with soy protein concentrate in salmon diet. Next, we have rapeseed meal, or commonly called as canola meal in the US. It is also a byproduct of rapeseed oil. So as you can figure, these plant protein are used both for protein and lipid. The solid is used for protein and oil extracted is used for lipid. Rapeseed meal also contain around 35 to 44% protein, which is much lesser than soybean meal. On the other hand, rapeseed meal have low lysine level, which is essential amino acid, and high fiber content that limit their use in monogastric animal and fish diet. Then we have sunflower seed meal, a byproduct of oil extraction from sunflower seed. Normally, sunflower seed is dehulled first before extracting their oil. The composition will depend upon the quality of the plant itself and the processing method. Crude protein content could range from 35 to 39% for dehulled sunflower seed meal. The major advantage of sunflower meal is it does not contain anti-nutritional factor unlike soybean and rapeseed meal. Finally, we have corn gluten meal, which is the byproduct of corn starch. It has high protein content up to 65%, and similarly to sunflower oil, it doesn't contain any anti-nutritional factors, although deficient in lysine amino acid. Corn is also famous for ethanol production, therefore it is well-known crops to be planted other than soybean. The cheap price of corn is also one of the factors that it is widely used in animal feed, including aquaculture species.